Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a slice of gameplay. This is a format that I used to do on the other channel on Thyworm. And I thought, yeah, let's just bring it back, but then with the Investigator. I have got for you today the game Liberté, which is a French-made game about the French Revolution, and they sort of put their own twist to it. We're just gonna pick a deck here. We're gonna dive right in. You can make any deck with a bunch of cards, and I'll just explain you along the way how this game plays and how this game works. In essence, this is a top-down ARPG, and I have played for about, I think, 5 hours at this point maybe. The twist is that you will have a deck as well, with cards and abilities to choose from, and that influences your playthrough. So these are my starting cards. As you can see, I got 6 because I have a talent, because I just died and I resurrected again, and then you can pick a boon. I'm sure we'll die, and it will not be taking all too long for me to die, I'm sure. So then I can show you that part of the game as well. But for now, you have these cards, and you can also see I have 3 blue squares, or diamonds I suppose. And those need to be filled. So if I want to play Snipe, for example, I need to free up 5 mana, the blue diamonds. Now, I don't have that, as I'm sure you can imagine. So what we can play is the Sneaky Tooth. This is a card that I got from a quest, and I can gain 2 mana if I have this. And then I can just pick another skill if I want. But for now, we're just gonna play like this. I think I don't necessarily need the Hidden Blade just yet. So I think I will burn this card, which will give me 2 mana. There we go, we burned it, and then I can play basically anything I want. I could also just immediately go into Snipe. It might actually be fun. So let's also burn this card for 1. Then we play Sneaky Tooth for another 2. And now we play Snipe, and what you will see is that Snipe will now appear on my bar at the bottom center of the screen. So I'm playing it, and there it is. If I now press Y, I will do a snipe attack, which is basically a musket shot. So this is the game. You're running around in an sort of altered version of Paris, and that's Snipe. There you go. Now sometimes enemies drop some silver. You can use silver later down the line. We will get there at the flea market and just buy yourself a companion, or buy yourself some armor or some health. This game is kind of not very much like your other typical games, I would argue. And mainly because this game is, you're not supposed to get hit a whole lot. Like if you're just button mashing here in this game, it's not gonna end well for you. So here you see they're respawning. This musket shot feels pretty great though, not gonna lie. So you can see me dashing around and trying to avoid most of their damage. I'm not doing an amazing job, but it's serviceable, I think. Now they're invincible if they have these like smoke clouds on them. There we go. I have that ability too, if I want to. It's not in this deck, but I could put it in. And now you see I level up. Now sometimes there's something dropping from these enemies. You can pick it up. Oh, this is a new card actually. So this is how you unlock card, by just playing the game basically. And sometimes you unlock one of these blueprints, which you can then craft. So every time you level up, you get additional cards, and I think every 2 levels or so you get an additional mana point. I could burn one of these things, but I kind of want to have all of these. These are talents, meaning that they last basically throughout the entire playthrough. All of these 3 are talents. I'm having a lot of talents. And the only other things could be like skills or that kind of thing. So we're just going to continue. We're not really going to take any new skills right now. Here is the flea market, so I only have 50 silver. There's usually something lying on the ground here as well. But here I can, for example, restore all mana for 50, which is pretty strong at the start. So I can spend 50 bucks if I want to. Oh, and this is another restore all mana. Now the only sort of reason to maybe not do this is that I only have 3 mana, right? So while I would be restoring, I could play, you know, the ranged skills, I could play the melee skills, which is pretty good. But I could also wait a little bit and hopefully, you know, get some more mana and play some more cards, because it's very potent. So instead, for example, I could buy another card like Armor Up, which is actually kind of a lifesaver, not gonna lie. So maybe I'll just buy the Armor Up card and now play my Exquisite Wine, then play the Armor Up, which is a support skill, so that goes on a different place on the bar at the bottom. See, now it's the right button. So I do this and now I get 20 armor. And what you can see is the 3 and the 12, right, on the menu bar at the bottom. So the Y ability has a cooldown of 3 and the right button has a cooldown of 12. Now, these are clearly not seconds, because otherwise you would see them tick down as I speak. But these are cooldowns that act as a sort of hit counter. So if I hit an enemy 3 times, I can use my Y ability again. And if I hit an enemy 12 times, I can use my right button ability again, the Armor Up one. This is the cafe, and this is usually where you have a little bit of story progression. Sometimes you find additional things here as well. But you can talk to these people, and there are 4 factions in the game. You're doing a mission for either of the 4 factions always. So at the start of the mission, they start basically fighting with each other and they have a narrative. And then you can pick a side. I have chosen the cult, or the tribe in this case, which means that one of the protagonists of that faction is gonna be in the cafe. The story of this game is about a Bliss, Lady Bliss, which is like an eldritch being that has sort of, conquered Paris in the French Revolution. And the 4 factions are all impacted by this, but they're also at war. This faction is mostly in fights with the church, which is not a faction, and then the crown, the royal crown, and the rebels. They complete the 4 factions that exist. They're also fighting with each other. So here's Ori. We can just see what she has to say. There's no real voice acting as far as I know. This is still an early access game. I will tell you that the narrative so far is pretty good. I like the writing and the storylines that are presented. Also the characters are well written, and they actually have like personalities and whatnot, so that's pretty good. And what you will see here, now that I've talked to her, I've gained influence. And this is a new update that they've just put out. This is the influence page, I suppose. And the influence basically works a little bit as a battle pass, if you will. But you can't purchase anything for this with real money or something like that. You can just gain influence, and then the more influence you gain, which basically means the more missions you do, or, you know, the daily favor that you do. Based on this, you can progress. You can progress this battle pass, and I've mostly been doing the factions for the tribe. So right now I'm working my way towards level 4, which means I can get some crafting materials for a bunch of cards. And here I would probably be getting cards and so on and so forth. So that's a little bit how this works. It's a pretty interesting system. They released this and a few other things in a patch yesterday. So I thought, yeah, let's just check it out. And here we are. This is the painter. You can talk to this guy and then get inspired. Meaning I get a little bit of damage bonus, which is nice. And you can see now that they're doing this, you know, and they're killing. If they're hitting me now, at first they're hitting my armor, right? And I can armor up again. There we go. And the idea is that you just keep doing this, right? Every sort of encounter, you reach a new level, you unlock 2 cards out of your deck. So what I could do, for example, is burn this 4 cost card, meaning I get 4 mana, and then I can get, you know, this skill. It would give me another skill, which is pretty good. And I could also, for example, do melee skills damage, which is a more damage multiplier. And I think for now I might just do that. We really need some more abilities, and I have a secondary copy of Backstab in my deck. So let's burn this, let's get the musical hit, let's get the Melee skills damage. There we go. We can burn this apple if we want. We don't really need the healing. So we can just burn the apple for 1 point and then get dance moves. A flawless stack after a successful parry. And the way you parry an attack is basically by moving out of the way just when it comes in. So you have this, right? This dash ability. I think it's pretty much unlimited. And what you want to do, if you time it correctly, you can parry. But it's a little dangerous. I mean, you could also just try and get out of the way before these things hit. Let's see if there are more enemies. Yeah, there should be. There we go. So we can burn this card because I don't need it anymore because I already got another attack, because otherwise it would replace your current skill, which is my snipe skill, which I kind of like. So we'll just burn this and then we can do anything really that we want. I think the basic attack is good, right? You will do a lot of basic attacks. So let's go for that damage right there. See if that was a parry, for example. That was another parry. And another parry. So we can do the exquisite wine, restore all mana. Let's just do that, and then we can pick some more talents. So the cunning is definitely what I want. Now I already have this talent. The game does a good job in telling you what you already have and what will happen, right? It says duplicate and it says backstab. So duplicate, you already have this talent, meaning that you should burn this card, right? So I'm burning it right now. These bandages you just keep as a sort of a backup, and otherwise I think we'll just take here another talent. When you parry an attack, the attacker becomes stunned. That's pretty good, and we'll just do deal more damage to stunned enemies, right? That is a good combination with the card that we just took. Alright, let's continue. We're about to get to the boss, I think. Here's another flea market. Now we got a little bit more money, 150 silver, which is decent. You could buy 30 armor. I'm not sure, to be honest, if there's a limit. And I might be more inclined to buy cards, to be fair. Especially if we would get like more of these you know, restore all mana kind of cards. So melee skills 20% more damage, basic attack 20% more damage. That is just pretty decent, you know. I think we'll leave it at this. We'll save some money for something else potentially. We could heal, but we also got this slice of bacon, which I think we'll just play, you know, round out my health again. Should be pretty good. See, now we're backstabbing over here. We just helped out a villager there. And you can see the backstabs as well, right? If I manage to sort of kill these guys from behind, like this, I'm doing massive damage. Which is kind of what you want. You keep getting more cards. We can fire the cannon, meaning that we create an opening over here. You could explore a bit, right? There might be some money or some silver or some cards potentially or something hidden. Typically, those things are kind of in plain sight, so it's not too hard, right? You don't really have to be too sad to miss anything or too afraid of that. And this is then the boss. Oh. Now, at the start, these bosses aren't very difficult, as I'm sure you can see. But I will show you what is about to happen if we defeat this, because this is just the first level, right? Alright. So, kill them. We still got all our health. A lot of things to pick up there. Let's see how the cards are doing. Alright, so we're gonna get to the People's Court here. And the People's Court is where everybody is sort of debating. It's like the Roman Forum of old, if you will. And you are gonna find two random factions here. Warring with each other, right? And you can listen in and listen to the story and then pick a side. And that is when we are back again at where we started, pretty much. So we're just gonna keep playing. Let's see what we can do here. So we want to burn the armor up there. And this is a duplicate card, so I can also burn this one. Because then we want to have unexpected, right? Backstabs ignore armor, which is pretty good. So let's play that one. We can play the aptitude, but I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. I kind of like what we got going so far. Yeah, this is okay. You could burn the healing, but I think you don't want to do that. So let's listen to what these guys have to say. So this is the crown versus the tribe again. We're just gonna click through this for now. And now you can make a decision, right? Or you have to make a decision. I'm once again gonna support the tribe here. We need to capture a corrupt politician and bring him in front of the Court of Justice. Now, the mission variety and everything so far, it is not amazing. It's okay, but you will figure out that you'll be doing, you know, quite a few of the same missions over and over again with, you know, a little bit of variation, because there's two versions of the same mission, right? Because you can pick a side. But otherwise, not a whole lot of variety. But another thing happened now here as well, which is this sort of curse. If you've ever played something like Curse of the Dead Gods, this is very similar. Here you have the Curse of Flares. And now enemies are surrounded by rotating flares of searing void. Now this whole void thing, that is because we're dealing with eldritch monsters, right? This world is sort of corrupted by a... Oh, that's annoying. Holy moly. This world is corrupted by a eldritch being. So these curses, they have a pretty severe impact, I would say, on your gameplay. And you really gotta work your way around it. And some of these curses are really annoying, like a bunch of maggots or flies. Whenever you kill someone, they spawn like this sort of flying bunch of whatever, and it's gonna chase you. You can't kill it, and it starts killing you. It's very annoying, honestly. But ow. Ow. Okay. Now we got violin slashes. We're gonna burn at least one, but I think that we're gonna burn more than one. So I'm gonna do another talent for my basic attack. These are tiered talents, means that you can play more copies of the same one and it stacks. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get this violin thing out of the way. We can do close quarters if we want to. It seems okay. Let's play that too. Oh. Ah, restore all mana. Great. So maybe are we gonna do a bandage? No, I think let's wait a little bit with that. We're not really in a hurry, I suppose, right? Oh. You can kind of see how annoying these void things are, right? Because it's actually killing me significantly, and I'm dead. So there we go. This is a little bit on how this game works. It's quite difficult. I failed, especially if you like get unlucky with a curse like this. This is a very difficult curse for a melee character to deal with. And it's completely unpredictable as well. Now here you get more into sort of the Lovecraftian part of the game. Kind of weird, but this is apparently us, you know. So I don't know where this is coming from, honestly. But yeah, this is me, you know, and this is basically your home. It's very cozy. I would be sure that everybody would like something like this. We are one of these balls, and we just fell down, and now we're this sort of weird body. Now you can do a few things over here, as you can see. This is my journal. I am René from the cafe. You can take an offering, meaning, for example, you know, you can get an offering of swiftness for movement speed, or an offering of restoration, which is pretty good. 10 health after each one combat encounter. So that should keep you healthy over time. You can change the skin, but I still need to unlock this. So I need to learn more about the rebels and about the church. So I need to do their missions, basically. And there are a few other things as well. We already talked about the rewards, right? And the more I unlock with the tribe, the more rewards I would be getting. The same is true for any other faction. There is a journal in which you can see which of the factions you have completed, all of them, right? So we've done some of the rebels, but we have to do more. And then I think the fun part when it comes to building your deck is over here. So one thing is you can craft cards, but you can also just collect cards. And you have your decks. You can make a new deck as well, and you have all of these different cards that you can use. So this is my deck, for example, and I can go to the card sets. And here I will be getting more and more cards the longer I play, right? So you have, let's say, sort of archetypes here. These are unique cards, comedians. It changes a little bit based on the archetype, and you can see what is doing what. This is a new blueprint that I just unlocked, right? So I unlocked apparently Heavy Caliber, which is a talent. Your raid skills ignore armor, but their cooldown is increased by 2. That's a decent card, so if I want I can craft it over here. I can craft these cards, and here you can see there is one card. And what I need in order to craft are these materials. And these materials you find basically by doing missions. So it's all very well, you know, it works all very well together. It also specifically states that I can find 6 more blueprints from this set, which I think is great. So we'll just craft this. I see really no reason to not craft these cards. You get these paddles and red ochre anyway. And you see, you know, Heavy Caliber crafted. And now if I want to put this card, for example, in my deck, which I might want to do, right? Maybe I'll get rid of one musical hit card, or I get rid of, let's say, let's get rid of one of these, right? So we'll remove one dance moves from the deck, and we go to, what was this? The marksman, right? And we'll put in a Heavy Caliber talent. There we go. This is how you change your deck. Yes, it's all good. And you can basically start again. There's a secondary mode as well, which the devs added in, I don't know, a few months ago, I think it was. We can play one of these. I've actually never played these. These are apparently primarily good for crafting materials, which makes a lot of sense. So let's just do this. Endless Bliss. We haven't really seen Bliss in the mission because I died fairly quickly. We'll just take my same set over here. Alright, so this is an ultimate card. This is something that you normally get a little bit later in the story if you don't die as, you know, as quickly as I did. So we can play this card. It summons a violent storm around yourself, dealing 30 damage and stunning enemies, which is pretty good. There are only 3 charges for something like this because it's very strong. I'm not sure what X is. Oh, it's the Wild Strike probably. And we immediately like get into a boss as well. Okay. That's it. Is that all? Oh. That was not very difficult at all. Let's try level 6, I guess. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, yeah, these things hurt like hell. Yeah, alright, alright. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so we're getting a familiar. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta get into this mindset a little bit, but this is not too bad. Did we now unlock level 7, or how does that go? Oh, up to level 11 even. Alright, I can see that. So okay, this is another one. I'm not sure where this ends, you know, but if you're up for this, it's the Endless Bliss. There you go, the secondary game mode that this game currently has to offer. And yeah, all in all, just first impressions from my end. This game has improved quite a bit, because I have been playing it since it launched into early access. Yeah, the start was a little bit rough, it was quite clunky and whatnot. But the combat has improved a lot. I think the deck building has improved a lot as well. There are a lot more interesting cards. And now with these daily rewards and sort of the battle pass kind of system for the factions, where you can get reputation, you have an actual reason to keep playing the game and maybe come back every day. You can see these sessions can be super short, so if you just have an hour or so to play, it's a fairly decent game to get your hands on and just play that game. The game is available for only 10 euros at the moment. It's currently on sale for 25% off for until July 28th. So, you know, that is a decent opportunity as well, I feel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this slice of gameplay, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. See you all soon. Love you all. Bye bye.